Well, a very good morning to you, and of course to our SABC viewers. We're coming to you all the way from Luthuli House, and this is where members of the ANC Youth League, the young lions of the ANC, vowed to protect Luthuli House, and this is all in anticipation of those DA members that are marching to Luthuli House over load shedding. Let me just take this conversation to a person who's no stranger to members of the media, Tlangi Mogale, who's a member of the ANC Youth League NYTC. Tlangi, thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. So the DA is unrelentless. They're saying they're marching to Luthuli House, and as members of the ANC Youth League, you are protecting the headquarters of the ANC.
Yes, we are very clear that this is a political party headquarters. It's not a government department, and that no political party can ever think that they can wake up one morning and march to another political party headquarters. I mean, if that was the modus of operandi in this country, there would be no peace and order in this country, because inherently opposition parties and political parties will always find ways to campaign against each other, and we extremely view this as campaigning for the 2024 elections by the DA. If they've got a memorandum of issues that they want to submit, they can go to Eskom. It's just here in Johannesburg at Megawatt Park, not at ANC Luthuli House.
But thank you can't deny the fact that the country actually is facing a crisis of Eskom, and it seems as if those who are deployed to this institution are really doing nothing.
Look, we agree. That is why we're saying, in fact, we wanted the DA to come here so that together with them we all march to Eskom. We all agree that this country is collapsing to the ground, and as the ANC we must take that responsibility. We're saying as the ANC Youth League, in fact, we're on record speaking and pleading to the ANC and especially the president to say he must remove Pravin Gordhan, because he has failed dismally to turn around the problems of Eskom. We've said that the Eskom board must be removed, not just the Rute. And in fact, this thing that the Rute is resigning, but only leaving in March. Why is he still remaining? Therefore, we are on record saying this man must leave immediately, because you can't continue to say we are fixing the problem, but the problems are escalating. You look at the problems of Eskom, and there seems to be, a program that all of us don't understand. Issues of renewable programs that are there, issues of IPPs, the just transition debates that are there, those are at the center of the problems that we're seeing at Eskom. And some of them, as the ANC Youth League, we believe that they are deliberate. So we're saying, instead of grandstanding and playing to the gallery on serious issues that affect millions of people, of South Africans, political parties must gather together and find a permanent solution to the problems that we're facing of electricity in this country. Not to campaign and using the crisis and capitalizing on it to gather and garner votes. If we were to operate like that, the DA has been failing dismally in their municipalities where they govern. Since 2016, they have been a mediocre governance. If we were to play to the galleries, the ANC and the ANC Youth League, we would be ourselves marching to offices of the DA every day, because every day there's a new scandal of corruption, malfeasance in the DA municipalities. But we do not do that, because we understand that as peace-loving South African citizens, there are ways and approaches that must be followed in order to be part of the public discourse, but at the same time, encouraging peace and stability in this country.
Ms. Mogale, the DA has not only called for Pravin Gordhan to go, but the likes of Natasha and the president himself.
Look, there are laws in this country. They are within their right to call for that. The president is elected by parliament. If they want to remove the president, they must go and do it at parliament. They've tried that many times, and they failed, and they will continue to fail. That's why we're saying these are just gimmicks by the DA. This is the last kick of a dying horse, because the DA has been failing dismally. In fact, we have said to the ANC Youth League, we are going to come here and defend, not because we want to encourage violence, because we also know that the DA, those white people will not even be here. They would have rented out black people whom they know are desperate for the 150 that they give black people to go and join their marches. That is why we're saying this is a peaceful march, because we're not going to encourage black on black violence, because it is DA that is running this, but it's going to be black faces that they're going to put in front. So this is a peaceful march, and we're saying to the ANC, There's no ANC leader who's going to come out and take any memorandum from them. They must take their memorandum to Eskom Megawatt Park.
Tlangi, the other issues that South Africans are angry about, at the ANC is, okay, no doubt about it, is load shedding. But the fact is, if you guys don't seem to hold your leaders accountable. And I hear what you're saying as the ANC Youth League. You want Minister Pravin Gordhan to go. But I mean, what other measures could you actually, implement as the ANC Youth League, as, a robust young wing of the ANC, to actually hold your leaders accountable?
Look, I can tell you now, Natasha, as the ANC Youth League, the biggest problem we're facing now is legitimacy. Legitimacy because we do not have a democratically elected leadership of the ANC Youth League. And maybe wittingly it's done deliberately so that the critical body of opinion is not there. We will hold the ANC accountable. We do it at every 5 years in conferences of the ANC. We hold leadership of the ANC accountable because we measure them based on the ability to implement resolutions of the ANC that we would have implemented. We're fresh from a conference and we're clear on the resolutions that we have on the implementation of the Eskom issues and how we want the Minister of Energy, whether it's Gwede or whoever, but that the Eskom should be moved to a department that will deal directly with issues of Eskom. You would have seen that the SG has been on the ground. Comrade Fikile Mbalula today is hosting a dialogue with energy experts because we are really desperate, not just desperate, but we are eager to find solutions as the governing party. So we can't just be to please people, insult and do things that are foreign to the ANC. But there are processes that we need to follow. And amongst those, the ANC Youth League will also host we will host our own energy dialogue with experts because as the ANC Youth League, we want to factually speak on matters that must be considered or exploited in order to resolve the issues of the energy crisis. The coal plants and the plans to do away with coal in this country, we are vehemently against it. We are very clear that if those that are claiming that they care about Africa, and South Africa in particular, and that they want to sponsor billions of rands, 9 billion to be specific, to bring in renewable energies, why don't they start in their own countries where they themselves have started to explore and are building coal plants? So we're saying we are exploring possible solutions, but as the ANC Youth League, we are going to bring in experts in the industry. We are going to meet with the Minister of Energy because we've also noted the deliberate attacks on him. We do not understand what informs them, but our suspicions are clear that there is Comrade Gwede Mantashe is speaking the language of the people to protect and preserve the legacy and the gains of South African liberation struggle. And those that are against that have started to attack him.
But he says there are those within the party itself that are actually against that.
That is why we're meeting him, so that he can tell us we're the ANC League. We speak our mind. We're meeting him so that he can tell us who are those, so that we can speak without favor or fear.
Tlangi, I'm going to sound like an old record. Every time I see you, I always ask you, when is the ANC Youth League going to have their conference?
We're sitting our National Congress in March. The SG, in fact, the entire SGO of the ANC has assured us that we will sit our Congress before April. So these young people here will have their Congress so that the critical body of opinion can be found again, because the ANC is going through what it's going through because there is no youthful energy. Young people have been silenced for 10 years, Natasha. Some of us actually on our exit now in the Youth League, we've been waiting for a proper ANC Youth League since we were 2021. So it's about time, Natasha, that the ANC Youth League is brought back. Like I've told you, the NYTT has long done its job. We're just waiting for the ANC to give us money and we take young people to a Congress.
Will you be standing for any position?
Look, it's up to branches of the ANC Youth League. But what I can tell you is that this Congress is not going to be about individuals. It's about reintroducing the ANC Youth League to people of this country. It's about attracting the youth vote for the ANC come 2024, because the ANC, in as much as it has messed up there and there, we've got our own mistakes that we might have made. But the ANC has got a track record. and it is the responsibility of the ANC Youth League to go out to the ground, speak and engage their peers, and bring them on board so that they also form part of, discussing the possible resolutions that can be brought forward. I mean, young people in the industry, in the arts industry, they are extremely disengaged. They don't even want to be associated with the ANC because there is no youth formation that really resonates with them. So it's not about individuals, this Congress. It's about bringing back the lost youth vote, which is a critical body of opinion.
Tlangi Mogale, thank you so much. Always a pleasure talking to you. Of course, I was a member of the ANC's Youth League National Youth Task Team, which is tasked with taking the ANC Youth League to a conference. And like she said, the conference will take place in March. But also the main reason why they're here is that they are here to protect Luthuli House and redirect members of the Democratic Alliance to Luthuli House. They say that their march is misinterpreted and misguided. They should be actually marching to the leadership of Eskom and not here.